Hey friends, happy Monday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner and happy Thanksgiving week. This week I have a week of meals to share with you. Nothing really new. One I kind of just made up, and then some stuff that we've really enjoyed and I made again. All of it's pretty easy. So as always, any recipes that I mention will be linked down below. Now let's go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. Friday night, we had this Instant Pot beef rice pilaf. I have made this recipe before. It is supposed to be made with stew meat, which I have done in the past. And when I made it the first time with the stew meat, I remember Andy said it'd be really good with ground beef. And I cannot remember if we tried it. I could not find a video of me making it previously with ground beef. So I'm making it, I think, for the first time with ground beef here today. So I'm starting off by heating up a little bit of oil, and then once that's hot, I added in some chopped up onion and then my ground beef, along with some of the seasoning mixture that I mixed up, which was some black pepper, garlic powder, smoked paprika, some Montreal steak seasoning, and salt. And then I just sprinkled a little bit of that on there. I'm going to add the rest in later. I let this cook until the onions started to get soft and the meat was about halfway cooked. Then I added in my sliced carrots and I continued to cook this until the meat was all the way done. Then I added in half a cup of tomato sauce, 1.5 cups of water, and some Knorr beef bouillon, or you could just use beef broth, and then also the rest of my seasoning mixture, and then a couple bay leaves. I gave that all a good stir, and then I'm going to top it with 1.5 cups of white rice, and just press that down into the liquid so that it is fully covered. Then I turn the Instant Pot on manual, high heat, and let it pressure cook for 15 minutes, and then I allowed it to naturally release the pressure for about 15 to 20 minutes. If you are doing with this with the stew meat, the recipe is different. You cook the stew meat first under pressure for I think 45 minutes, and then you go in and add the rice and cook for another 15. So you double pressure cook it, which was really good when I made it the first time, but ground beef is just quicker and easier and cheaper. So I decided to try it this way this time. So once the pressure cooking was all done, then you just have to go in, remove those bay leaves, stir it up, and then serve it. And this was just as delicious as with the stew meat. We liked both equally. So I will definitely make it again with ground beef, but also with the stew meat in the future. Saturday night, we had a pepperoni pizza ravioli bake, which I just kind of made up in my head. I kind of based it on the last ravioli bake that I made and decided that I didn't feel like cooking up meat for it this time. So I just decided to use pepperoni because it's quick. I usually always have some on hand, and I thought it would taste good and like a pizza. So I started off by spreading a little bit of marinara sauce in the bottom of a 9x13 inch pan. And then I am topping that with my frozen cheese ravioli, just spreading them all on there and a nice even layer. And then put on a little bit more sauce and a little bit more ravioli till you've used up all of the ravioli. Then I'm going to top this with a bunch of mozzarella cheese and then some pepperonis. And then I covered this with foil and put it in the oven on 375 for 30 minutes, covered with foil. Took it out, removed the foil, and put it back in there for another 15. And this came out so good. It was delicious. The other one that I made was more like a lasagna because I did that cottage cheese layer mixed with Parmesan and seasoning and stuff. But this one was still really, really good because you have so much cheese in those ravioli. And then it tastes pizza-y because of the pepperonis. But if you like other toppings too, if your family likes olives or onions or peppers, I feel like this would be really good as a supreme pizza. If that's your kind of thing, I feel like that flavor would really work in a casserole like this. So yeah, you could definitely change it up and do whatever toppings you like. And I was feeling lazy this night. I had planned to do a salad with it, but I did nothing with it at all, just the ravioli pizza casserole. Sunday night, we did magic crispy baked shrimp. This recipe is so good. We absolutely love it on shrimp. We also love it on tilapia. It's been a while since I made it, but I have filmed a video of both of those on my channel, so I will leave the like full in-depth videos where I made those down below, so you can go back and check them out if you want. It's buttery, and then it's got like panko and parmesan on top, and it gets so crispy and delicious. And then I usually serve it with some garlic parmesan pasta and then green beans on the side. Monday night, we had black bean soup and chicken quesadillas. The black bean soup is something that I've made quite a few times now, and I just recently learned that Andy doesn't love it. It's a texture thing for him. He said the soup feels like he's eating beans that somebody else already ate. That sounds so bad. But me and the kids absolutely love this soup. I think me and the kids would eat it literally every week. So we might not have this for dinner again anytime soon. We might just keep this one as a lunch that me and the kids have, because we do love it as a quick lunch when I've already got the black bean soup like made and I can just reheat it with some cheese quesadillas for lunch. So good. It's like, to me, it's like a different variation on like grilled cheese and tomato soup. You do quesadillas and black bean soup because it's so good dipped in the soup, and we absolutely love it. This recipe comes from Naptime Kitchen, and I think she originally made it on the stovetop, but I have made it in the crock pot and the Instant Pot. Now I think I've made it all three ways, and all three ways it turns out great. Just throwing in the crock pot and the Instant Pot just saves you a little bit of time. So into the crock pot, I am adding 6 cans of black beans that are drained and rinsed. And then I do like 1 onion chopped up, whatever kind of color you have. I've done red onion, yellow onion, white onion, whatever you have. And then same thing with pepper. About 1 bell pepper diced. I did a little bit of some of each color, I think. Red, yellow, and orange. And then you do 2 12-ounce jars of salsa. Sometimes I do 1 red and 1 green. That's what she originally recommended on the recipe. But this time I just did all red. And then 32 ounces of broth. I usually use chicken broth, but you can do veggie broth or whatever you like. The original recipe, I think it's supposed to be vegan, but you don't have to make it that way if you don't want it to be that way. 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of cumin, and then some salt and pepper to taste. And then for me, I just cook this on low for like 8 hours in the crock pot. It really probably doesn't need that long, but just however long you want to cook it. And then at the end, you just go in and use an immersion blender and blend it all up to your desired consistency. I'm wondering if maybe Andy would like this pre-immersion blender, like just a beanie brothy soup. So I don't know. I might ask him about that and see if he wants to try it that way. But me and the kids, we love it blended up. To go with this, we just had some chicken quesadillas, and I used some rotisserie chicken in those quesadillas from a rotisserie chicken that I had bought on Saturday that me and the kids ate for lunch. Used the leftovers for this, so it made dinner this night super easy. Tuesday night, we had spaghetti and meatballs. It's been a while since I've made homemade meatballs, but everybody has been asking for them. So I have made this exact recipe many times now. It's delicious. I think it's probably our favorite, and I make them in the air fryer. Starting off here with 2 pounds of ground beef in my bowl, and to that I am adding 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, 1/3 cup of Italian seasoned panko breadcrumbs, some dried parsley. The original recipe you'll see down below has 3 tablespoons of fresh parsley, but I probably do about a tablespoon of dried. And then some minced garlic. I'm using the jarred stuff because I was being lazy. Some dried minced onion, a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 2 eggs, and some salt and pepper. And then I really didn't want to touch the ground beef, so I was trying to just do it with a spatula, but it wasn't getting combined like it needed to be, so I had to go in with my hands and mix it all up. And then once I have it nice and combined, then I'm going to start rolling it into balls and putting them on my air fryer basket. I do probably about 2-inch sized meatballs, line them up on the air fryer basket, and then these go in the air fryer at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes, but about halfway through I will flip them over so they can get nice and golden on all sides. And then I heated up some marinara sauce on the stove and cooked up some spaghetti noodles, and we just had spaghetti and meatballs, and it was delicious. Wednesday night, I made this pork loin that was already seasoned from Aldi. It was mesquite barbecue seasoned, and so I thawed it out, and then I stuck it in the crock pot. I put a little bit of water in the bottom of the crock pot, and then I covered this with barbecue sauce. I've already made one of these mesquite barbecue pork loins before, and the meat was pretty good, but the flavoring of the mesquite barbecue on it, not my favorite. So I was trying to cover it up a little bit with this barbecue sauce that we love, and I'd say it worked decently well. Like, I could still kind of taste the original flavor, but it wasn't awful. I don't think I would buy this flavor again. There was another flavor, I can't remember what it was, but we bought that one, and that one was good. Just something about the mesquite barbecue flavor one I just don't like. I think it might be a little bit too sweet for us, but yeah, it's okay. So I just cooked that on low for like 8 hours, and then when I came home I took it out, and it was very tender and I could slice it up, and I just served that with some Instant Pot mac and cheese. I was really tired this night and didn't feel like dealing with anything else. And finally, Thursday night, I made some honey garlic chicken thighs in the crock pot. So I'm starting off by whisking together all the ingredients for my sauce. I actually like to double the sauce recipe because we like things a little bit more saucy. I like to serve this over plain rice, so I like to make sure that there's going to be enough sauce to kind of flavor that rice as well. So just keep that in mind when you look at the measurements down below. I did double everything. So I am mixing together some soy sauce, honey, water, ketchup, ginger. I like to use these little frozen ginger cubes, and I did 2 of those, and then some salt and pepper and garlic cloves and some dried minced onion and red pepper flakes. I whisked all that together, and then I am adding in my chicken thighs. I kind of put them in there and try to coat them with the sauce, and then I am going to cook this on low for like 4 hours. And then once it's done, you can tell the sauce is a little bit watery, so I go in with a little bit of cornstarch and water that I mixed together and pour that in there and let it sit for like 10 minutes so that the sauce can thicken up a little bit. And then, as I said, I just like to serve this on top of some white rice, and then some of us like sesame seeds on top of it as well. But that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that y'all got some new meal ideas. If you did, let me know which ones you plan on trying down below. And I hope y'all have a great week. Enjoy Thanksgiving time with your family. I will have 2 more videos, I think, this week on Tuesday and Wednesday. But if you're busy prepping for Thanksgiving or spending time with your family, don't worry about watching my videos. They will be here when you're less busy and can watch them. I hope y'all enjoy your week, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.